Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Polio Jr. And in today's video, I wanted to show you guys how to organize your financial accounts into a simple spreadsheet. So I'm going to be using Microsoft Excel. Um you can also use OpenOffice. You can use Google Sheets and any other program that would allow you to make spreadsheets. So what we're going to be focusing on is your personal accounts and what your total um, net worth is personally. So you can use this for business purposes, but it's definitely what we're doing today is more for personal reasons than anything else. So let me just change all these to, or change these guys to automatic here. And okay, so we have opened up a new spreadsheet. And so, like I said, I'm using Microsoft Excel, and all the formulas that we're going to use are universal, so they'll work for any program that you're going to be using. So try and imagine that this entire sheet is blank. And I usually like to leave the first row, which is row 1, available, just to say what this tab is. And so you'll see at the bottom here, these are called sheets or worksheets. Our first worksheet is our stock portfolio. Our second sheet is our savings account. Our third sheet is our checking account, and then the last sheet is our total net worth. So, and we'll be going into them as we go along. Um, the stock um, the stock worksheet is what's going to take uh, the longest to get into, but it's actually very simple. Um, I'm going to try and not make this complicated at all. But what we're going to do is go over to A1, and we're going to just type in stock portfolio. And FYI, all of these numbers have been, the numbers, the stocks, everything has been changed. This is not this is um, completely made up. It is not my actual stock portfolio. I just changed things around so it would be even and hopefully easy to understand. So right here we have our stock portfolio written in A1. And so what we want to do is stretch that out from A to F and then click merge and center. So it's at least like a little bit more organized. And then we're going to go down. You don't have to add any of these. I just put this in here just as like a reminder that these will be the ones that will be updated on a weekly basis, however you want to do it. If you have a stock portfolio, I definitely would recommend updating it at least once a week, if not twice a week, just to see roughly where you're at. So the first thing we're going to see, so we have our stock, our date purchased, amount, at share price, and so forth. So the first thing, so let's say you just started purchasing stocks with whatever stock broker you're using, whether it be E-Trade, Stockpile, all of the other ones that are available. So we're going to type in underneath the stock column. So let's say we bought Ford. We would type in Ford. We would go to the date purchased. We would type in the amount that we spent, and then we would type in the share price at which we purchased the stock at that time, what the stock was at per share, the number of shares that we actually purchased, and the one that I use, you can buy fractions of a share, as you can see. None of them are even at all. And then if there was a surcharge, we would put that in there. Next is the current share price. So let's say this one was purchased. This individual transaction was on November 27th, 2017. Um, we're going to see what our current value is and what our profit loss is for this individual transaction. And that's all these rows are going to be, each individual transaction, what they're worth. So, so we have the surcharge typed in, and let's say that that's the current share price at the moment right now. And then we're going to go over to current value. Now this is extremely easy. I'll keep it blank because all we're going to do is erase. We're going to type in the equal sign and then click on the current share price and then use the multiplication symbol, and then we're going to click on total shares. So we're multiplying the current share price times the total shares, and then we click enter, and then that lets us know how much what that transaction is worth now. So it's just the current share price times the total shares. And then from here, we're going to go over to the profit loss. And you'll see here, I'll start it over from scratch, but it's going to be equals. And for this one, we're going to do a parenthesis, and we're going to use the current value, and then we're going to type the minus symbol, and then go over to amount, so how much we initially spent, and then we're going to end the parentheses. But after that, we're going to type in the minus symbol again, and we're going to do the surcharge. So now we're just going to click on my sheet, it's F6. So if there's a surcharge, it will it's going to take that away as well, because you did lose the 99 cents technically by purchasing the stock. So that's what our profit margin is for this individual transaction at the moment, including the surcharge that was spent. Now I'm going to delete these and we'll get into the totals up here as well. But and the reason that I highlighted that this one is highlighted in that kind of shade of brown is that that's going to be used for, that's basically the first time we bought that individual stock. So that's the first time we bought Ford. This would be the first time, say we purchased a stock called AGNC, and let's say this was the first time we purchased GE. So we have that entire the entire row is highlighted, and the reason for that is that so we don't have to type in the share price. Say you kept buying Ford or you kept buying AGNC or whatever it was, you don't want to have to go through every single cell and type in whatever the share price is. You only need to type it in once, and it'll change in the rest as we go down. So let's say that the stock market just closed and it went from $15 to $17. Now you'll see the current value will change, the profit loss will change, the total value will change, and the total profit margin will change. So we do that. So we're at $29.74, and now we're at $33.71. And that's really it for that row. It gives us what our current value is and how much we have made off that individual transaction. Now this isn't highlighted. This Ford is not highlighted because it's not the first time that we purchased this stock. So what we want to do here, so we do the same thing, however much we purchased of that stock. So we're just going to do the equal sign and then click on the first time we ever bought Ford. and enter, and that's it, $17. And then the current value. Now this is what's nice, is you can actually, as you go along, if you are purchasing stocks or anything, even if it's commodities, whatever price uh, you purchase it at, it'll change the current value. So we go to the bottom right hand corner, wait for that plus sign, we drag that down one, and then for this one, the same thing, we drag that one down as well. But we don't need that highlighted, so we can go here and no fill. So this is where, and now you'll see when I type in, let's say I type in $21, you will see the first row here change, and you'll see the second row here change as well. At least it should. So, and everything's the same. So these exact formulas get placed in for each cell. And we'll just leave that alone right now for Ford. And same thing, so now we're AGNC. This is the date we purchased it, how much we spent, at what share price, the amount of shares that we purchased, and then our surcharge, we didn't have one. And we go and look up on whatever stockbroker we're using. We look up the current share price, and let's say AGNC, let's just say it's worth $50 now. Okay, enter, and we just do the same thing. We drag this down, and then we drag this one down. Now these are, I'm going to put that back to that brownish leaf color there. And like I said, the only reason that these rows are highlighted in that brown color is because it's the first time we bought the stock, and it's really just an indicator of where we need to enter the share price so we don't have to enter it again. So for here, as this changes, say that went from 50 to 40, you'll see these two change, and then these change as well. Now, continuing, same thing with GE. Whatever the price is, you type it in. Let's just say it's $30, and then you can drag this down like this as well. And sometimes you're gonna have to do this. You might have to unfill it, do it, whatever's most convenient for you. And so, all right, we'll fill in the Ford row here. So Ford equals the Ford price, G6. There we go, $21. And since I have all this information down here, if I really want to, I can go like this. The only thing is that it will change the color of the cells. So no fill, okay. And then, so let's do this, doink, and let's change that back over to that. All right. So now that we have, let's say these are the three stocks that we have now, and these are the same information as before. The only thing that we're, as you're inputting new information, we see, okay, this is AGNC. Okay, I already have AGNC. So I click equals, I click the current share price, and that's it. And then I can do the same thing here. Current value is that. Let me bring it, so make sure it's all the same color. And now what I did here was, and let me unfill this. No fill. Now you see the cells being highlighted in an aqua blue color. Now what that is that with a lot of stocks, you get what's called a dividend, which is basically like, you're just gaining interest for however much you have invested in that stock. So for this one, you can see that the amount was low, but still something. No surcharge. But so this is just, you don't have to highlight that one. I just do, just so I know, like, okay, cool. Like I got, I made 91, I made 91 cents off of this. I was given 89 cents for a dividend, and, and now my profit margin is, now I'm at 91 cents. So not too bad. And that's all. That's the only reason that these are highlighted in that aqua blue color. And then just continue, continue, continue. You type in all these as you go along, each individual transaction. You can always use this feature here to drag down, and or not for the current share price, because the current share price you will only type in to the first time that you purchased them, and that's it. So when you want, like I showed you before, if it's AGNC, I would just do equals and then click the first one, boom, done. Same thing again. So we're on Ford, equals that one, done. And then for the current value, this is where a formula is actually needed. You can go like that, and it'll change all the numbers as need be, and so forth. And then this kind of stuff, you can just hold the control key on your keyboard and just click no fill, and then all of these are also adjusted as well. Anytime we type in a number, whatever it is, so let's say we're at Ford again right here, and Ford, so equals, and it's this one, boom, okay, that changes. And hopefully I explained it as simple as I could, simply put. Now we want to see what our total value of our stock portfolio is. So this is what it says right now, and that's what it says up here is all you need. So we'll do equals sum parentheses, and then we want to get the current value of all of our stocks. And then for just for future purposes, we can go as far down as we like, and then click enter, and then there's our total value. And then the same thing with the total profit margin. We type in equals sum, beginning of the parentheses, go to the first one here in the profit loss column, scroll down for future reference, future purposes, and then that would be how much we've made off of buying these stocks. So I hope this helped a little bit as far as the stocks go. I have my own little method, so long story short, the only one you would be updating is the current share price for the ones that are only highlighted in that specific color. When these change, you'll see the other ones change. So type in 20. Now anywhere else it says 21, it'll change. So those all change. And everything else, you can use that function at the bottom right hand corner. Use the plus sign and just drag it down, and that's it. So we have our total value and our total profit margin. You can color coordinate however you want, whatever makes it easier for you. Whatever's going to be, whatever's going to be the simplest way for you to see, for it to be organized. So this is just what works for me, colors. So now we're going to go into our next tab. And next tab is a savings account. And same thing, this has all been edited just for the video here. So now we're in our little savings tab down here, and you can always like for this, like I would put in like what I had before just to see. So we have we have the savings up here as of amount, and then where we are currently at. Now you can actually, if you want, you just check your savings account at whatever day it is, and then just change it every time. You don't even need to add all those other numbers. So you go and take a look at your savings account, you see that it's 350, and then that's it. This one's simple. And so is the checking one as well. Again, this one is also everything's a mock version here. Everything's been fabricated. So but you could also do the same thing here, where I have a list of what the previous amounts were in the checking account. I could just do this and have and just use this cell all the time, because now we want to go to our total worth. So our net worth. So we're going to delete that. And that's just like if you wanted to add a goal here. So what we want to do is we want to go to our net worth, and we want to find the sum of all of our individual accounts. So this is the first one. So this is our total value. So we're not going by margin. We're just going by, exactly how much money we do have, not how much money we've made. That's only for this sheet alone. We go over to the Savings tab, and we click on this one. Oh, excuse me. Stocks. Okay, we're back here. Then click plus. So that's H3. Okay, plus. And then we go to our latest number for our savings account. And then we hit the addition symbol. And then we go over to our checking tab. And then we click our latest update of whatever our checking account is, end the parentheses, and then let's go back over to total worth, and we click enter, and we're good. And now that is the total of what our total stock portfolio is, how much we have in our savings, and how much we have in our checking. And that's our total net worth. Let's say you set a goal for 5 grand. This is how easy it is. So you would just type in, say you want to see how far away you are from your goal. So we want to do equals the first, your net worth, and then subtract your goal. And so that lets you know that you are, X amount away from reaching $5,000. I hope this video helped you guys. Like I said, I'll try and put this in a link to share with everybody. So, but like I said, all you really have to do for the savings and the checking account, just to make your life easier, so you don't have to change the net worth, is just change the date. So we'll just say whatever it is, 3/7/2018, and then we'll say that this changed to that, and then that carries over to here. Do the same thing for the checking. Same thing, 3/7/2018, and we'll say this is 3,200 now. And then go over to total worth, and you'll see that our total net worth has changed, and the amount until we reach our goal has changed as well. So you can literally keep it this simple in this for the savings and the checking. But the thing is, if you do start putting in different dates, then you're going to have to change. You're going to have to change the other cells, the one cell in the total worth. Okay, so we change. So if we are adding if you want to keep track of what you've made previously, then when you enter the new number, you have to find, say in the checking tab here, we're on B4. So we have to go to total worth, go to checking, and after checking, instead of B3, you would type in B4. And that's why, like I was saying, it's just easier to just have that one number that you would just continually update, and that's it. So I believe that is all. If you have any questions, please let me know. It's always fun trying to explain these things and make them simple. But the longest one obviously is the stock portfolio. But if you do keep it like this and you keep it organized, and like I said, at least update it once a week, if not twice a week. But when you open it up, just check everything. Check your investments, see what your savings is at, see what your checking is at. And for these guys, like I said, you can just change the date, change the amount, change the date, change the amount. And then on the stocks, the only thing you'd be doing is changing the share price of all the stocks that you've purchased, and you only need to change the ones that are highlighted in whatever specific color you want to use. And like I said, color coordinate it however you have to, insert an extra row if you need to, and insert an extra column, whatever makes it easier for you. So thank you guys for watching and holding out. And if you want to let's do this real quick to show everybody. If you want to make some borders to make it look a little bit more organized, you highlight everything here. You'll see this next to the bold and underline, and do all borders. And then from there, you'll see that we have borders around everything. All right, so now we have borders. And same thing if we want to use the autofill options as far as or filling in cell colors. You can highlight however many cells you want. You can also hold the control key to pick out different cells as well. And then you go for a fill and you see all these guys change however you want to do it. And last but not least, if you want to change how the date looks, you would right click on the cell, go to Format Cells, and then go to Date, and change it however you like. So you could do it like that, just this over, and it'll put it in whatever format you like. And then for the currency one, if the currency doesn't come up, you can format as many cells as you want and go to currency and then just hit OK, and that's it, and it'll be in the currency form. So thank you guys again for watching and for holding out. I really, really, really hope this does benefit you guys, because it is nice to see how your stock portfolio is doing and how much you personally are worth. So, and now what we're going to do is we are actually going to save our sheet, and we're going to make sure that we are the author and that we have it password protected. So we do save as. I'm going to call it test income, and I'm sorry, let's go here, file, let's go to info, let's go to author, Polio Jr. DIY. Okay, and that's it. So now whatever name you put, you're the author, and then save as. Okay, test income, and then we're going to go down to this tools icon here, and we're going to go to general options, and we are going to type in our password. Now this one already had a password, but blink, and okay, Save. And let's close it out. Let's go to test. Let's try and open it up. And now we have it's password protected. You have to type it in twice. And there we go. It's all yours. Thank you guys for watching this half-hour video. If you did make it all the way through, congratulations. And I will see you in the next one.